Warner Brothers recently got bought out. In the last couple months, the deal finally closed. Warner Brothers is now owned by Discovery. It's now known as Warner Brothers Discovery, right? And in case you guys didn't know, I know a lot of you do, but in case you didn't, they are the ones that have AEW under that TV deal rights for TBS and TNT. Now, as of this very video, they have the all access content, the reality show element. They have Dynamite, Rampage, and then they also have Collision. So they got they're pretty deep into the whole AEW universe. AEW has their TV rights deal expiring in 2024, and it is gaining some value beyond what they're getting paid. So they're looking for a pay raise, is what I'm trying to get to. And with all the wrestlers they have under contract and all the guaranteed money, this is their bread and butter. They really need this to work, and they need to get a good deal so they could turn a profit, from what I read online, as early as 2025, which is really good because honestly, as much money as they've made and as much as they've grown this year, 2023, they're actually roughly at about a $30 million loss. And when you start a business from scratch the way AEW has started, it's remarkable to see that they've made as much money as they've made in the first place. But any business you start up in the first couple of years, you understand that you are going to suffer and be in a negative financially. But when you're backed up by the Khan family, like Tony is, and you have the deal that they have with Warner Brothers, there is a good amount of wiggle room in general to survive and kind of, push through. So now, why am I saying all of this? What's the buildup? Well, Ace is in the chat saying he's worried that, AEW may no longer be on TBS or TNT or whatnot. And, that is kind of true, because if there's another suitor that's willing to pay more, then for obvious reasons, Tony Khan has to be willing to change, networks. What up, Levi? And that's not such a bad thing. But I will say this. Tony Khan has a very
Is a
good...
bozo.
Nah, don't say that. Don't say that, Charles. The guy, he may make mistakes like everyone else, and bigger ones than most people. But at the end of the day, what he's doing with AEW overall is a lot better than most people can do, believe it or not. And, the thing about Tony Khan is that he's been very vocal about how loyal he wants to remain to Warner Brothers, especially with them already having, for example, Max, formerly known as HBO Max. One would assume that with them adding sports, live sports like NBA to their streaming services, they're going to want to eventually add some AEW content as well with all the money they've been paying. And rumor has it is that AEW is actually getting ready to, bump up the amount of pay-per-views that they have going forward. And if they successfully do that, well, guess what? Max is the perfect home for all those premium events. And it kind of becomes the rival for Peacock and the WWE Network, because they have the premium live events there as well. And competition is healthy, and it creates a good value for Tony to seek out. But right now, his competitor being WWE, which offers pretty much the same genre in terms of a product, they're shopping Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw is being shopped around. And who knows, maybe Warner Brothers wants to go for the big boy in Monday Night Raw and put in a big offer and kind of leave AEW high and dry, because the deal that Tony Khan had in place for AEW was before Discovery came into the picture. All right. He had that Warner Brothers deal with the leaders at Warner Brothers before Discovery took over. And I know this is a lot of mumbo jumbo. You guys shouldn't really care about this. I think we know a little too much because of the online reports. But point being is that AEW will remain on TV. I do think Warner Brothers is going to want to have more than just, Monday Night Raw. They would like to have multiple shows across their platforms. So I do see them possibly wanting AEW at a discount in comparison to how much they would have to pay for just Monday Night Raw. So Ace, if you're worried about AEW losing the deal, I think that there's something worth negotiating there. And then on top of that, you got to also understand that ultimately Warner Brothers is going through a trial period right now where they are also trying to turn into a profit, and they're going through what the previous management team had before they bought into the company. I just read a report earlier today, actually, that Warner Brothers is worried about how much money they're losing, and that could play a major role into how much they're willing to give AEW long term. But as fans, I think we shouldn't really sit here and stress too much the details there, because like Monday Night Raw, AEW is going to continue to have some sort of programming on TV, and we're going to continue to enjoy wrestling the way we have. So this is more for the suits and ties to work out those numbers, to put together those shows, and our job as consumers is just to truly enjoy it. But I wanted to shed some light on it because, yeah, there is always that possibility where AEW may have to change homes because of the rebranding that Discovery has kind of started pushing towards. But we'll see. Hit me up in the comments section. Do you like AEW on TNT and TBS? Would you like to see them work with WWE instead of AEW? Because, they got Ace here sitting in shambles, very worried. Well, all the rumors are circulating around CM Punk being a vocal point for Warner Brothers because of his previous association with AEW. He was the main reason Collision was created. You're right about that. You're right. Having CM Punk now on Monday Night Raw exclusively has actually enticed a lot of different suitors, and the value of Monday Night Raw has gone up with CM Punk on the roster. So CM Punk being on Monday Night Raw may tilt the scale, because let's face it, Warner Brothers all along were very vocal and adamant that they wanted CM Punk on their show. Like, they knew the value in CM Punk. They sought out after CM Punk. So maybe since CM Punk is now in WWE and a part of that platform, they might want to work with WWE instead. That is a very real possibility. Good point you brought up there. So hit me up in the comments. How do you guys feel about AEW right now and the condition that they're in? In our next video, we're going to be talking about AEW Fight Forever, which just dropped one of their latest DLCs, and it's been a massive disappointment so far.